Grant Dania now.
It's Grand Illusionist.
The gold logie this year. Oh my God, it's Grand Dania.
And our mum, Shazzy Dania. She's really crazy. And
George.
affectionately known
As Large Sarge. It's all true.
It's All True, the podcast with Grant and Shazzy Denya.
and
George.
And
Grant!
the gang is back together.
Yes, it is. Oh, I know.
I tell you
It
what,
feels pretty bloody special.
it does. We've missed you, and I think so have our listeners.
Nah, you wouldn't have missed me. You would have been able to talk about mediums until the cows come home.
Oh, we were drying up pretty quickly, I can tell you that.
Yeah. You'd run out of dead people to cross over to.
Oh,
We've spoken to them all.
Yeah, they've all been interviewed.
Can we just do a roll call? It just would feel really nice. Let's say present. Shazzy,
present.
George, here. Grant, Daniel.
Present. It just feels right, guys. It just feels so
First
right.
time in 9 months, we're finally back together, all on the podcast.
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
No, it hasn't.
I reckon it's been
No,
almost
6
that.
months. Oh, no. Well, it's been a while.
Well, I've been filming a little show called Deal or No Deal. Don't know if you've heard of it. Channel 10 weeknights at 6 since November weekly. So there you go. Oh, there we go. Shez is all over it. Still hasn't got any better at setting up the podcast. Still got the notifications coming in hot.
Oh, my gosh.
Who was that?
It's so funny.
The
The
iconic?
last 2 episodes that Shazzy and I had to record, we dead set sat down an hour before hitting the record button, making sure that we were, pressing the right buttons and actually going to air, so to speak.
Yeah.
So
Because I used to
it's
do
been
all
a
that.
time.
I used to do all that for you, right? So it's nice
Yeah.
to know that I was missed.
Yeah.
Greatly.
And I still, even when I sent the clips off to George, I was still thinking, oh, my God, there's going to be something wrong with this. I just...
Technology. You can't bloody
yeah.
trust it, can you?
No, you can't.
I got a grand idea. It's okay. It's all right. We're working on a plan. Working on a plan to next level this bastard.
Yeah.
I'm
Take it
excited for that plan.
into the
Yeah.
next stratosphere.
Yeah. So,
We have touched on it briefly, like we've kissed the surface, not gone into too much detail, but we've kissed it and we've shared that kiss with the listeners of the podcast.
It was a tender touch too, no doubt.
Yes.
It would have been.
yes.
Communal kiss. Yeah.
A little bit of chapstick on before you'd sort of announced it, I hope. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
I don't
I'm
know
out of
what you're
practice.
talking about. This is,
I can't remember how to do any of this. All I've been doing is opening briefcases, giving people cash.
Hey, do people use their intuition?
Everybody does. Everyone's got a stupid system where they go, it's come to me in a dream last night.
Right.
Everyone comes out with some sort of story. Yep. Everyone thinks, I do a little bit of psychic mediumship on the side. I reckon I know where the 100,000 is.
Do they?
No one is ever right.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I could never pick the
Are you
cases.
privy to what's in the cases, GD?
Hell no. No, I couldn't be trusted with that kind of information, and nor do I want to. I like the surprise of going along with the player.
Someone did ask me, how do you remember everyone's names?
Aha, good question. I got a system for that too.
Right.
Name tag.
Someone tells me in my ear.
Oh, right.
Well, there's 22 people up there, and
So
I do 5 shows a day, so that's a lot of 22 times 5, whatever that is a lot of names to remember. So
Do you have like a cue for the person telling you in the ear? Like, do you touch your nose and that's when you need their name? Or
When he's like going, pointing at someone.
I'm more professional than that.
No, I know. That's why they couldn't tell. That's why they were asking, how do you know people's names?
You want everyone to have their little moment, right? It's cool. You want them to be, you want to identify them and introduce them to Australia. And if you don't get the chance to play next to me as the main contestant, at least everyone gets the chance to kind of open a briefcase. So you kind of want them acknowledged, and you want to say their name and you want to get it right because it's a cool little moment for them. I don't know. Maybe you've been on television before, or it's kind of cool, right? So you want to honour them by at least giving them their name and then so the moment they select a case, so the player goes, now I want to open case 17, and then someone immediately will then say my name, say that person's name, and then later if I go back and reference that case again, they'll give it to me again. It's a good little system.
You
So
have to have a
recording
lot of
since
trust.
November, how many episodes have you actually pushed out now?
195.
Oh, wow.
That is a record.
I think that's a new record. I reckon that's an Australian television record.
Well,
Because that's in 3.5 months.
What was the record before that?
I would have owned it. It would have been Family Feud. But we're filming at a much higher rate, for now.
Yeah.
I was just saying to Shezzy last week that we weren't even able to push out one episode a week for this podcast.
That's so true.
Grant's off doing sometimes 6 episodes a day.
And there's bloody 3 of us.
We couldn't corral our life for an hour a week. And now I do 5 episodes a day. I do 15 a week.
But the problem is that we kind of we were like, yeah, we'll just do it on the side because we've got heaps of time. And then what's happened is we have created this environment where and we get messages all the time from everyone saying, I feel like you guys are my best friends. And when you're...
That's a bit nice.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's actually a real honour.
A lot of people...
Sometimes we can't all make it to the party, like we've got other commitments.
That's true. That's true.
But that's okay because the life of the party's here, hey? Yeah.
There she
Am I
is.
right?
Frank the Tank. She's a weapon.
You know what? I just realised I've left my little pimple cover on.
Yeah. That's an enormous zit.
It is.
Oh my God. The
woke
side
up this
profile,
morning-
it's almost protruding further from your face than your nose. And it's on your chin. That's how far out
I woke
it's
up
coming.
this morning and I have got the world's largest pimper. And so I put a little, clear covering.
Like a cold sore little covering thing. Is that what it is?
Oh, I hope not. I thought it was
I've
for
seen
pimples.
people use them for cold sores.
Yeah. But when I went to put it on, I was rushing and I bent the corner of it and then still stuck it on. And I've been walking around with it on all day thinking nobody could notice it, but everybody has noticed it. And yeah.
It's Mount Vesuvius. It's about
Are you going to have a go at... Are you going to squeeze it or are you just going to let it heal by itself?
one of
gonna
those blind ones where
No.
it's really deep under the skin, but you can feel a massive
They hurt.
lump.
They bloody hurt those
It
ones.
does hurt. It does. I'm
just
going to
wanna
give it a
push it.
name. Penny.
Oh, Penny.
Penny my pimple.
Penny pus face.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
It's in my hormonal zone. So
Explains it.
look out. Oh, shut up.
Right. Hey, speaking of people saying we're best friends and all that kind of thing, I sent the longest but most beautiful review to you last night, Shezzy. Would you guys like to read that one out? Because it's quite wholesome. It's beautiful. I think it's a nice way to set the tone for our first podcast back together as a team.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
So, from Vicky. Well, I've known about you, Grant, for many years and have been an avid follower over your many years on Sunrise. I always enjoyed your antics and followed along with all that life threw at you on screen and behind the scenes, all while cheering you on quietly in the background. That's nice. Shezzy, I apologise. This doesn't read good. I never really knew much about you other than you were just Grant's wife. After seeing you both on the race and then hearing mention of your podcast, I thought I'd have a listen. Well, needless to say, I look forward to tuning in to you guys every day as I catch up. Just finished season 2 and have thoroughly enjoyed every moment. You are both such genuine, beautiful people with the best sense of humour, and being able to listen to the way you both bounce off each other is just lovely. I lost my 22-year-old son just over 2 years ago, and to be honest, life is tough. Oh.
That's heavy.
My life has changed immensely and I am slowly starting to find my feet. I'm 6 months into a kinesiology course, so I was super excited to hear of your own personal experiences. I believe my son sends me many messages and that he is guiding me on my new journey. I even believe that somehow he got me onto you both. Anyway, I'm thankful for your candour along with the many laughs you give me. Feels like the 3 of you are in my car with me having a good old yarn, which of course then leads me to George. George, it has been lovely getting to know you, and I think your input is also very special. I look forward to all future episodes and will be very sad if they ever come to an end. Thanks for putting tears in my eyes, but in a good way.
Oh, that's a beautiful message.
That is,
What's her name?
It's putting tears in
Vicky.
our eyes.
Vicky.
I know.
Gosh, she has been through the ringer, the poor thing. Well, I'm glad she's just finding a little moment in her day where we can hopefully make her smile.
Hi, Vicky.
Yeah.
That's
Beautiful thing. Hey, how good's kinesiology? I went today and got some kinesiology done.
yes, you did. That's right.
Very good. It's an incredible gift.
It is. Being able to listen to the body, I think, is really powerful because sometimes your mind and I don't know, sometimes we filter what we say. So to be able to go straight to the source and ask questions, I think.
I ignored listening to my body many a time over the years and paid the price ultimately.
Actually,
Broken back, chronic fatigue. That was all through not listening to the body. Kinesiology. The good thing about a kinesiology, if you go to a kinesiologist and you don't really need to say anything to them, they just ask the body. They do muscle testing and the body will tell them the answer.
Yeah, which
they
is
will
great.
ask the questions to your body. You don't have to say anything, and the answer then is just given.
And I love that.
It's crazy. So you don't even need to know what's wrong with you. You just might go, I don't know, just feel a bit bleh,
Where did
and they go and sort it out.
where did kinesiology start?
I don't know. It just feels like it's like a cross between chiropractic, massage, psychology.
I think Cosentino started it. the magician.
Cosentino. I think when you lay down and then they saw you in half, and then you put a rabbit out of a hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Penn
Do
and
you
Teller
know-
soon
Yeah.
picked it up afterwards.
Do you know on that Cosentino? So he came to Bathurst, and
One of Australia's greatest illusionists.
incredible.
Australia's greatest illusionist.
we have to get him on the podcast because it was so embarrassing. Sailor, and this was only at the start of the year, like February or something. Sailor said to me, "Mum, he is the kind of man that I want to marry one day."
Which I was the kind of man she
well,
wanted
you
to marry.
were, but she's also now realised that she can't marry you because that's weird. But for
The
many,
thing about Cosentino is he can dance as well.
Yeah.
He's not just a magician. He's got the moves.
He really can. He's like the Michael Jackson of
he
magic.
is.
And he's just got this really unusual look, this kind of not gothic, but like
Mysterious.
Smart
he's
goth.
cool, smart goth. Yeah, neat goth rather than dirty goth. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
Dirty
He's
goth.
a cleanly kind of goth
Sorry,
guy.
Sailor. You can't go out with a dirty
slick
goth.
goth. Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure he's snatched up and taken, to be honest.
I think he is.
he is.
Last
He's
time I heard.
engaged. But he asked, and this was so embarrassing. Oh my God, we're sitting like 2 rows deep, and he asked for, he said, I need somebody to come and volunteer. And Sailor's like, me. And he said, but I need a woman, okay? I need a woman. She's like, I'm a woman. And
You're
I'm going,
12.
Sailor, sit on your seat. And she's like, Mum, I'm a woman. And it was
He's a handsome devil.
it was shocking, and I was so embarrassed. But it was such a good show.
He's incredible. I remember
Yeah.
when I first saw him on Australia's Got Talent, like I think he might have come second
Yes, to Tim-O-Matic.
to Tim-O-Matic.
Isn't that
He came
right?
second to Tim-O-Matic. Possibly.
No, actually, no. It might have been the guy who went in the jungle with Jack Vigin.
Might have been Jack Vigin. Jack was the first year. I don't think Cosentino was the first year. I'm not sure. Anyway, but he was a superstar
He made mention.
through and through. And every time he came out and put a performance on, it was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And it's so great to see him continuing to make a living from it and seeing his career rise. That's the nice part about having done Australia's Got Talent, is to see that a number of people that were on that show, you know, were able to live their dreams, and now that is their profession.
Like Bonnie Anderson.
Yeah, well, she's an actress now as well.
And
Oh, no,
Tim-
she was the first winner. That's right, she was too.
Tim-O-Matic.
So maybe he was second to Jack Vigin.
I
Hey,
feel
on
like
the-
that. Sorry. Yep.
Sorry. I was just going to say, we put up a video last week promoting the last episode, and it got a lot of attention for some reason, especially from some certain accounts.
Did Chezzy
They're
have
all-
a nip slip in the middle of the broadcast? What happened?
What was the...
It was simply like not even a 10-second video of a bit of banter between Chezzy and I. Not
Yeah.
very memorable. I can't actually remember the joke or the context of it, but
Either
it
can
got
I, but-
views, it got mentions, it got comments. This is from Ravender.8463. It says formed with the emoji of just like a happy face.
Oh,
Formed. And the
Form.
profile though, the picture, formed, FORMED, and the picture is an arse on a G string.
I've seen a few of these popping up. Yeah,
And I
they're
replied back.
they're bots. They're spam bots, you dirty devil.
So
I
is
just
that
said, makes no sense.
did
The other one, Celine_GNS17. I mean, you go and look now, these accounts have disappeared because, yes, they are sex bots. One said trim, and I said, my hair or the video?
Maybe they thought the video was a bit long for everyday consumption.
but hold on? What are sex bots?
Well, it's just bot accounts.
Right.
So not sex bots as
lure
in
people.
a sexual robot, but a fake account, an automated generated fake account.
They take your money.
And then they probably take you to some site that you probably pay them money to see some videos. I don't know.
All right. Yeah, occasionally
Exactly.
I get juicy or something and I go, oh, what? Yeah.
That
So
was
yeah,
me.
usually we
I
hide
wrote
those
that.
comments, but I'm like, you know what? Let's
play with it.
Yeah, have a bit of fun with it. Obviously,
was-
don't like click on their links they send you. But
No,
you can
God, no,
reply.
because that feels like that will put some spamware or something on your phone or some.
Yeah, don't do that. Yesterday when I was at the hairdressers, one of the young hairdressers was telling me that she just got a random message sent to her with some man doing the windmill with his penis.
No.
Oh God, I thought I sent that to you. Ah, damn it, sorry.
No, and I was like, someone just sent you a video of
Like a real person,
yeah.
not a fake bot.
Unsolicited windmill
No.
pic.
And so she
On
reported.
Instagram.
To be fair, I don't know, but it might have been.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's bold.
isn't it?
Oh my God.
So it's not somebody that she knows. It was just sent to her, and she was like, "Oh,
Like
yeah."
a jump scare.
We were on
Really
the
weird.
plane when we went on holidays, and Sailor and I were sending photos to other people whose airdrop was on,
I love
and
that.
it was just us doing a thumbs up. We saw everyone on the plane who had their
Oh my
airdrop on, and we
God.
just sent it to everyone.
I
That's
did
so
not know
cool.
that you did that.
Yeah, we did. It was fun.
You ever been on the plane and you're sitting next to a random who's just full on watching porn? Next to you?
No.
You?
It's so awkward.
What?
Yeah, you just
What?
sit there
Someone
and
does that?
But they just
there was
sit
this
there.
guy, like he wasn't doing anything, but he just had it on his screen and he was watching it. And I'm like,
Right,
do I
you-
go and report this man? Do I like what
On
do
the
I
plane,
do?
there's
On
the
the
people
plane.
in the seats behind you can see between the seats, right?
Yeah, they would have seen. They would have
Oh.
absolutely seen.
I have seen a video. There was a video that someone's sitting behind, and it was nighttime, and they could see in the reflection of the person in the row in front's window. And so old mate was sitting against the side of the plane, against the window, having a look at him watching his naughty videos. But it was reflecting off
Reflecting
the
back.
window as the
everyone
person
else could
behind
see
could
it.
see. But you're like, mate, there's a time and a place, and that ain't it.
It's like this massive confidence that they must have when they get up in the air and they think that they're like their headphones on and they're oblivious to everybody else.
That's nuts.
That's real
That's a
weird.
little out of control. Like,
Yeah.
watch your Netflix shows, and maybe if there's a little random booby in there, no worries. But if you're on public transport watching porn, I don't know about that.
Maybe there's different laws up in the sky.
On the same flight, actually, where we were going on holidays, I remember looking at between because you were sitting in the row in front,
I wasn't watching porn. Thank
and I
you.
was you nearly were. I had to stop watching my movie to watch yours. You were watching something with Jennifer Lawrence in it, and she was like fully nude for about 10 minutes on the beach, kicking
yes.
people in the genitals.
Yes.
Jeez.
And I was like, what the heck's going on? And then I'm looking around the rest of the bus, or not the bus, the plane, going, who's watching Shezzy's screen thinking she's watching some freaky deaky shit?
That was that movie, you know, where she is an older college student. She's an older woman and she gets employed by this young kid's parents to try and make him cool before he goes to college. I was not expecting it to be like
It was
that.
10 minutes of full nudity, full body nudity.
I
I'll
did
have
not
to
even
get that
remember
movie
that.
after this.
Yeah, what was it called? It looked pretty funny.
I don't know. The One or something?
It
I
also
don't know.
looked pretty funny.
Welcome back. Oh, my pimple.
There he is.
My pimple. Do you know, this was not on our like discussion for today, George, but I've just remembered. So we've put Scout on a bus, okay, each day because we've had dramas with her going to school. And to get her to go to school without crying and to go on this bus, she said, you have to give me a phone, because that was always the deal with Sailor. So we ended up giving her like a very old secondhand Nokia phone, so that, you know, if she needs us, then she can contact us.
An
Wow.
emergency, yeah.
Yeah. So Grant wakes up after racing all weekend to a knock at the front door.
Oh, God. Right.
And there's 2 police officers standing there. And what did they say?
I get out of bed in my PJs and I see 2 police officers standing at the front door. I know that they've gone to school, and I think the worst. I think there's been an accident and the police are knocking at the door to inform me. So I'm like, oh my God, my heart's in my mouth. And I'm ready to hear the worst news. And I open the door, and then they were like, did you call 000? I was like, no, I didn't. How did the rest of it go?
So, Scouts dropped the phone into her bag, and it's obviously pressed 000, or it's pressed the button. And so anyway, her bag starts vibrating, and I'm talking to her, and she said, Mum, it's an unknown number. And I went, oh, just ignore it. It'll be a scam call. So anyway, then they try. Sorry. Oh, sorry.
There's a sneeze and cough button there if you ever want to use one.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, they rang back again, and I said, God, they're so persistent, these scam callers. Just hang up. So we hung up 3 times and then put the phone into the bag. Then she got on the bus. I waved her goodbye, and then I walked back to the car, and Grant rings me and he says, Shez, did you call 000? I went, no. He said, Bub must have called 000 from the phone. I was like,
wow.
And I looked and I said, no. And he goes, I've got the police here, and they said that you called 000 and then you've ignored their calls back.
Because we've called, and they said we could hear some talking in the background, but no one was answering, and then it hung up. So we just need to do a welfare check. And so I'm like, oh, God, this is a little bit
Good
serious.
to know they're persistent and
I
like
know.
getting to the root of where the call was.
Yeah.
Well, I've tied up police resources, to be honest.
Oh,
And there's
yeah,
probably
that was
about 8
embarrassing.
break-ins that could have been prevented.
Yeah.
But
I was mortified because I had said, oh, it's just a scam call, and just escaped out of it. Yeah. So
You sure they weren't
was my fault.
stripper police?
they're here. Let me put on some music, guys.
Well done at the races, GD.
Did you recognise them at all?
No.
No. I don't know why
I knew
you
it was
would.
serious by the look on their face.
All right.
Yeah. And then they were like, does she own an iPhone? And we're like, no, she's got an old Nokia. And I think she's accidentally bum dialed you. And they were like, okay, we're happy with that. All right. No worries. See you later.
Why did they ask if you had an iPhone?
They might be able to, or maybe iPhone has the
Emergency setting.
emergency button that you can accidentally press, which must happen a lot, or maybe they can tell what you're calling from. So we said, no, she's got a Nokia, and they were like, yep, that's right, it's a Nokia.
Because it's registered to my name. Because when I had to get the old SIM card, I had to give away all my details. Did you think that they were thinking that you were a bit sus? Like you had me as a sex slave in the cupboard, and they were...
Oh, like Joseph Fritzl or something like that, like you were living under the stairs.
Yeah, and I was like trying to say help.
Well, I was thinking that because they gave me the eye, like I'd done something wrong, and I'm like, oh, it's not even my phone. Like look, they're at school now, so that's all good. And they were like,
Could have been your Ken
So do you
pajamas.
want to come and have a look in here? I was wearing Ken pajamas. You're right. That would have looked a bit weird.
And they're like, why is he so seedy, and why is he walking like an old man to the front door because Grant had just finished racing?
And I had just watched a documentary too about these kids that I think it might have been Utah they were held captive in a house, and they were malnourished, and they'd had like all the skin was worn off around their wrists because they were handcuffed. And they had escaped, and I saw the footage of them going from house to house, knocking, asking for help and some food and water. Oh. And I was like, these poor
Weird
kids.
timing.
Yeah, that is. Maybe they were watching your viewing habits as well.
That's fine.
Just
mate.
a big elaborate prank.
They're
Wow.
like-
Are there ramifications for, accidentally dialing 000?
I hope not, because
I'm
So
sure.
I remember when I went to my nan's old work, there was a button that you could press in case of emergency, and the police would come around and suss out the situation. She's like, never ever touch that unless there's an emergency. Otherwise, there's
I think you can get
issues.
charged for the call out as well if it's accidentally pressed. We used to live in a house that had one of those emergency numbers because it used to be owned by a police officer, and that police officer had, I think, some issues with some people.
What,
And-
like a buzzer, like a help?
like an emergency button, and the police would be there in a nanosecond, obviously to look after one of their own as well, right?
Yeah.
But I think that, it's the same as like fire alarms. I'm sure that if they go off, and then you're charged for that call out if it's a non-event.
God, that would have been awful.
But you think about if we've all got phones, how often? God, it must happen so often that we're all accidentally pressing triple O.
We've done that once before. Remember, Scout rang when she was a baby. She rang 000. I remember, and then she had a phone and she was just talking to someone.
That's
and
right.
they were saying, "Put your parents on." And she's going,
She didn't know she doesn't know any of those words at that point. She was
and we
that
were
little.
so embarrassed. Yeah.
Did you feel like, am I going to go to jail?
Grant raced on the weekend. How you feeling?
Good, man.
Yeah.
Good, thanks.
Good
For
thanks.
the people who don't follow you on the socials and
Yeah.
watch it on the TV, exclusive podcast update, GD Racing, how was it?
Wow. This is the content that everyone's tuning in for. Yeah, it's all right. I did a bit of racing. Unfortunately, our car crashed. So it was written off in a pretty big shunt, which hurt one of my co-drivers. He's not too bad. Didn't break any bones, thankfully. Could have and should have because it was that big of a crash. But got some concussion and...
How fast was that hitting the wall? Do you know?
I reckon maybe it's still climbing the hill there. So you're probably only doing maybe 160.
Oh, only 160.
Only 160.
Yeah.
Far out.
They head on into the cement wall there, which is a bit scary for all of us because you obviously don't want to see anyone hurt themselves. And he's just a young 19-year-old kid, and he knocked himself out there for a little bit. I remember I went straight to the medical centre because I knew that's where they were going to take him. And when I got there, I could tell he didn't know who I was.
My
So
God.
like he just
He was so
wouldn't
concussed.
look at me, and he's like he just didn't recognise he just thought we were just a bunch of strangers standing around him. So it wasn't until later
So scary.
that his brain came back. Yeah.
That's really, yeah. But they wear all these devices, like a hands device that helps hold your head on. Does it? I don't know how to describe
It's a
it.
device that stops your head going too far forward in the event of a frontal impact.
Yeah, right. And his was all stretched. Is that right? The tethers. There's like things that you connect to your helmet. His
So it
was
probably would have been about a 23G impact, so which is somewhere around there.
That sport just changes so quickly. Like within a millisecond, the entire game is completely on its head.
Yeah, you can have a big one. But having said that, suburban football fields on a weekend, there's just as many injuries and deaths and heart
there's
attacks and
more.
yeah,
There's
broken necks and yeah.
Like
It's something that's never really ever reported is the amount of injuries and fatalities that happen on suburban sporting fields on average weekends.
Actually, I was talking to somebody probably last year or the year before, and they said that their dad or their grandfather had issues from playing football as a young kid that were only just presenting like later on in life.
As in concussion injuries that
Yeah.
have gone into other brain trauma.
Yeah. And that's apparently quite common. I don't know because I don't hang around football fields, but you do hear about it quite a bit. And
I'm worried about my brain.
are you?
Because I've had some big shunts over the years, yeah. Because I also had some crashes prior to them having those devices. I wonder whether there's any black spots in my brain.
No, well, there's not because we had a scan on your brain.
Okay, am I good, Em?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
well, then
You're good.
concern over.
I wonder if there's any podcasting injuries that could be made.
Swallowed my microphone.
Yeah, the headphones were a bit too loud, so
Wow.
my hearing's a little bit shonky.
Well, is that a thing? Because Grant always turns everything down and I always turn everything up.
Because you're deaf.
What did
Yeah.
you say?
You're
Who's this?
clinically deaf.
Well, okay, yes. There was that one test that I did at a random showground where
Every time we ever walk past like an ear testing hearing place, I'm like, go in, and you're like, nah. And I'm like, you need to have it tested.
maybe I
You
didn't hear what you said.
Oh, yes, you did.
No. Do you know, I think. Okay, you're taking the piss now, George, because I could see your mouth moving and you're not.
I can hear him perfectly clear. What are you talking about?
Go, shut up. You're not. I
You
know
don't hear that.
Do you know what? That's what the lady was saying at this testing thing. She's like, okay, just press this button every time you hear a beep. And I'm.
She's
She
like,
goes,
you can press it.
You can press it, yeah. And I went, but I didn't hear a beep. And she was like, oh, how old are you? This was years ago.
Where do you think you got your industrial deafness from?
Well, my sinus problems, I think, really affected it because
Your nose and throat, it's all in
yeah,
the same
because it
category.
was always on my left-hand side. So that's where my nose was really
I just thought it was your
jammed up in.
ADHD is so prominent that your brain is so loud and noisy and that you can't hear anything else just because you're in your own head. I thought it was that.
And see, at the
Since
same
I met
time
you.
right now, I'm getting like something whispering in my ear and saying it's because you're listening to other voices. So it's like,
Well, that's what I mean. That's because you're listening to other
like
things.
spirit voices. That's a bit psychosis-y, isn't it?
These microphones, just back on injuries, these would be like, they'd weigh at least 3-4 kilos. If you were to accidentally swing it,
Yeah.
you could chip a tooth.
You could. Or if you sat on it, that'd hurt. They're quite wide as well.
Depends who you are if it hurts.
Yeah.
What? So you're telling me?
zoned out then.
No, I was just trying to think.
That's why we have these big puffy things on there to protect our teeth. It's like a mouth guard.
That is not true, is that? No, that's to stop the pop pop sound.
And teeth being damaged.
So if somebody came to rob us, I should take this off the hook and swing it around.
yeah, swing your microphone at them.
Yeah, just go, excuse me, mate, can you just wait there just a second? I need to go to the other end of the house and just unscrew my microphone
Well, we've
and come
seen
back
the
and
way-
attack you.
We've seen the way I set up for the podcast. It'd take me 4 hours to find where all the cords go to.
Kill them with boredom.
Did you tell...
I wouldn't hear them.
Did you tell... No, you wouldn't. They would have robbed the house and left. Did you tell your snake story the other day?
We've had a few snake stories.
We've had a few
Is there a
snake
recent
stories.
one?
Yeah, well, yeah, no.
Oh, the two at once? Did you say that one?
No,
I don't think so.
Well,
Hit
yeah.
us.
no, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, just that we had two snakes at the same time. One at the back door, a tiger at the back door, and the brown at the front door.
Yes.
Wow, you were trapped in.
Yeah.
The kids were like,
Only two of the world's most deadliest snakes.
Yeah.
the kids were like, "Hey guys, is that a snake out there on the backyard?" We're like, "Yeah, that is." And yeah.
I run out to kind of try and spot it to chase it away, or just keep an eye on it so the dogs don't get it, or the kids don't get bitten. So Shezzy runs out to the front,
to get my gum boots.
and then there's one at the front. And she's yelling at me, and I'm yelling at her to come back, help. And she's like, come over here and help. I said, no, come over here first.
Yeah, I was trapped there, the front door.
We're literally surrounded
Yeah.
by
The $1 million
deadly-
question is, have
venomous snakes.
you ever had a snake inside the house
Not yet.
No.
that you know of? What if they're just in the house right now and you don't even know about it?
Don't even, bro. Don't even. Did you see that footage of that lady? I think she was in Brisbane. A brown snake crawled up under her sheets while she was in bed.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Thought it was her husband.
Yep. It was like,
it was not.
hang on a second, that's not him. He's out at work.
very that's yeah.
That's terrifying.
Well, yeah.
Or that footage of the people who are like, I don't know if they're demolished. No, they're trying to remove a snake that's in the roof, and then the kind of roof caves in, and about 8 of them all just come out together, all entangled.
That's right. The snake orgy.
Oh,
I think we did.
Yeah, have you
talk
seen a
about
snake
that.
orgy?
It's messed up,
we did.
brother.
We did a podcast. Remember where it was
I've
so
since
funny.
that podcast, I saw a snake orgy. It's actually quite an incredible thing to witness.
It's very violent. and
What?
it
Very violent.
feels very unconsensual.
Was this what this man was watching on this plane?
Yeah, that's
snake
where I
orgy.
saw. That's where I saw it. No, on the family farm. There was probably like 6 of them just wrapped,
Whoa.
like almost in a plait kind of pattern.
Yeah,
it
that's
was
it.
amazing.
Yeah, it's a bit off.
Very violent. Look, George is like, it's just like they were romancing each other in a
I'm seeing it through the lens of Robert Irwin,
Oh, life is
Look at
beautiful.
look at these little beauties having a little.
Yeah, look at these little rippers.
Just looking at the time and thinking that, yes, I
Just
have
enjoy
to,
the moment, mate.
Sorry, I have to move on with other topics because we're just so busy. We're just so busy with this podcast.
Mate, I want to just come back.
I know.
Can I quickly say my exciting news? It's not massive, but for me, it's huge.
What is it?
What is it?
So, you guys know that I love you both so much, and this
Yeah.
podcast.
Yes. But
Are you
I
leaving
got
us for
my-
Hamish and Andy's podcast?
No,
going on
no,
here?
it definitely won't take me.
oh, so you've
So you
asked.
might have seen.
Oh, that's
No.
pretty.
So you
fucked.
might have seen, like, over the break, I got a little whale tattoo.
Oh, that's right. You did too.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I've got, like, a regular guy I go to now for tattoos.
Are you joking me?
And because I love this podcast so
What?
much,
Bush. You
this
better.
morning, I got an It's All True tattoo, an IAT.
Are you joking? Oh my.
In the healing stages right now, but this is
Sure.
it. So I hope we're going for a few more seasons, guys.
I was only coming back to say this is it. We're wrapping it up. We're no longer doing the podcast anymore.
Yeah, well, that is really fucking awkward.
Oh my God, George, you did
Dude,
not
are you
say it.
joking?
Oh my God.
Oh my God, look how red it is.
And it looks homemade.
It's actually quite infected at the moment.
Yeah.
But
Did Carly do that? Did she do that with a compass?
it looks like a home job, but I think that's kind of the vibe.
George, it's in such a prominent.
Bro, that's on your bicep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well,
What is your
I don't wear
mum gonna-
singlets often.
What's your mum going to say?
Well, she was fine with the whale tattoo, so I'm like, let's just go for gold.
Whale
but that
tattoo
had-
was tiny and it had.
You guys met it like and you it's proposed or something at Harvey Bay,
I've
and that's
known
where
you guys
whales
longer
are.
than Carly, though, so this is even more special.
Oh my God.
I don't know how I feel about this.
My pimples.
I feel like I've let you down
hurting.
as a pseudo parent.
Oh, George, that's very prominent.
That is,
Right.
and it's huge,
And it's.
But you don't really see it. Like, it's just sort of covered by the sleeve.
bro. The letters on your tattoo are bigger than the letters on your on your shirt.
Oh my God. Grant.
Is this a prank? It's April. You bitch. You.
It's
Oh
a stitch
my
up.
God.
Oh my
Even
God.
I thought that was legit.
Dude, that looks so real.
What?
It's fake. It's made with, like, eyeliner and weird stuff like that.
Oh
my
my
God.
How did you get it?
I was about to give you a stern talking to. That is.
Oh my. Oh.
That's the redness that got me.
Oh, the same. I was like, oh my God, you've actually gone and done it.
It's all fake.
Oh my God. I actually lost my stomach then and I was thinking, this has gone terribly wrong.
Because that just seems so not like you. So reckless and
Yeah.
naughty. And
I'm a badass.
You are a badass.
I'm a badass.
I'm a badass.
Everybody, badass, badass, badass.
No regrets.
Oh my God.
Uh,
No regret.
I
I feel tough.
Oh my God.
I thought you were so serious and I wanted to yell at you for being an idiot. And then I thought, I can't because he's committed to it now. And now I don't want him to.
I feel like an idiot.
No.
And the heat that's coming off GD right now is like
Jesus.
steaming.
I've been sitting here for this whole entire episode shitting myself
that was brilliant.
about this performance, but I think it paid off.
oh my
I
God.
thought I knew that you had big news, but then like that's
You could have held out a lot longer, by the way, without breaking that.
I started cackling and I just
No,
couldn't
once I
do it.
realised, hang on, April 1st was like, yeah.
Oh,
And then I'm like,
I didn't even think
and you
of that.
smiled when I said, is this a prank? And I was like, I gotcha.
Oh,
shit.
that was really good.
I felt sick.
Yeah, so did I. How did you write it like even backwards on your arm?
No, fiance Carly helped me out beforehand. Yeah, we did a practice run last night and then we did
Did
the
you?
real deal half an hour before today.
Oh my
yeah, legit,
God.
just with eyeliner.
You little
So,
bitches.
I've actually
Yeah.
got like full body tingles. So I'm feeling like
I've got heat coming off me as well. But anyways,
far out. Oh my God.
All right, that was stressful.
Yeah.
Never do that
All
again.
over a podcast tattoo.
Like, I
Well-
appreciate your commitment to the craft, but for crying out loud.
I know that was
Wow.
that was.
I was
very-
going to go a step further too and have the Nova symbol,
Like,
but I'm like, I
imagine
don't
that.
know about that.
We've got a sign. Can you grab the sign? We've got a sign that we've had made, a neon sign that we haven't even put up yet. And then you would have got what's this podcast called?
It takes two.
It takes two. Look, we haven't even put this thing up yet, and you've already gone and got an It's All True tattoo.
Got a tattoo going.
covered in dust.
My next one is the It Takes Two podcast tattoo.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Oh my god.
nuts.
Well, I think that's a success. That was good.
Yeah, well done.
That was good.
First podcast stitch up.
We asked
First
people
and probably
to
last.
we asked people to tell us how to get you back, like how to stir you up, Grant, because you're such a stirrer. Yeah.
Did you?
Anyway, that's
That was a good one.
that was really good. Yeah, I feel like I've been conned. And I knew that it was coming. Well, kind of, not really.
Were you in on this?
I knew that he was
Shezzy
going
was
to do
in
a
on
prank,
this.
but I didn't know. I actually genuinely believe that when I saw your arm. I was like, oh my God, you've gone and got it done. Like,
At the end of last episode, Shezzy said, we need to prank GD.
did I? Is that
It was her idea.
That was
I
words
think
that
you've
came out of
forgotten that
my
because
mouth.
I've
Yeah.
seen you act, and that was the most believable performance you've ever given. So you clearly had forgotten that you'd set up this challenge.
Yeah, because I was going to use today to tell you what the card said that I've been doing, the cards that we're going to have another baby.
Oh, God.
That's exciting.
Wow.
I don't think that's possible.
What do
Are
you
you
mean?
on 2 forms of birth control at the moment?
No, I stopped it. Hence, I got a pimple there.
So your hormones are coming out again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So last week we mentioned about Rubik's Cubes, and turns out there's a whole lot of people who actually do like Rubik's Cubes, and they
I don't not like them. I just can't do them. So I get angry at myself because I'm not smart enough to do them. So I feel like I'm dumb.
Yeah. So there's a whole lot of people who, I think I may have offended when I said
I was going to say, GD, listen back to Shezzy's comments on a Rubik's Cube. As they were coming out of her mouth, I knew that this was going to get major backlash.
Oh, did she fire up, did she?
I just said,
What did you say about people who are into the cube?
clearly I can't remember what came out of my mouth because I don't remember saying go and get
Who
a
would like to
tattoo.
have them at a party?
Oh, George said it'd be a great party trick. And I was like, yeah, what kind of a party would that be a great trick at? That'd be a boring party. Well, apparently there are Rubik's Cubes parties, and they are
Drinking out of cube cups.
they are like, it's really cool. And the people who can do it, feel like they are, very similar to me.
Yeah, if you're a cast member for The Big Bang Theory, then yeah.
Well, here we go. Okay,
2.0.
so that's what 2.0. So I've got this great message from Erin Lundy. Apparently Erin Lundy. Hi, Shezzy. So nice to hear you guys back. I'm sure you've been sent this a million times, but I had to share. My son and I love this doco on Netflix about the speed cubers.
Oh, God.
You could watch it with your girls.
Maybe you watch it after the speed cuppers. You know when they do the stacking? The cup stacking.
Oh.
It's like similar sort of,
didn't even-
nerdism.
So anyway, so there's a thing that's called the speed cubers on Netflix that I'm going to watch. I haven't yet watched, but I want to know, like,
Is it also known as 40-Year-Old Virgin, that documentary?
do you know what? Where does dirty, because we can't do it. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm angry at myself, not
Can you do-
anyone who can do it.
Can you do Sudoku? Sudoku?
I did it for a little bit, yeah.
I don't know how to say it though. Yeah, right. Okay.
Because Carly's a cuber?
She's a cuber. Yeah, she's big into it. Really good. Can solve it in under a minute.
Is that the
No matter how much you mess it up.
Yeah, it's just a pattern at the end of the day. You follow that similar pattern the entire time, and eventually you will get back to, the right shape and colour that it needs
So
to be.
I'll tell you something really freaky that happened in the last week, because I know that we all have to go, looking at the time. So I walked into Sunday's room the other day, and she often has toys around. There was a Rubik's Cube, and you can back me on this. There was a Rubik's Cube sitting in her doorway. And I said, whose is this? And she said, it's mine. I said, when did you get that? Like literally this week. And she said, it's always been mine. I have no idea where it came from. I asked
seen
all
it.
the other girls. You haven't seen it? It's now in the toy room.
Wow.
And it made me laugh because I thought somebody is really messing with me. Somebody's
One
not
of the-
happy.
Disgruntled listeners have broken into your house and have placed Rubik's cubes in random spots.
Maybe
to
that's
say,
why
hey,
the police were here going,
Oh, yes. I need to detach my microphone to go swing it and hit him.
attack him.
Or you get him with your windmill.
Yeah.
you're under arrest for cubism.
Funny.
Hey, it's good to be back.
Nice
is
to
good
have
to
you
be
back,
back.
Jay.
Let's
It
do
felt
this
right.
regularly.
Yeah, let's do this more often. Hey?
Yeah, well, we used to do it weekly. Now on Apple Podcasts, it says we release monthly.
Oh, does it?
Ooh.
We need
Oh,
to change that.
Oh,
Apple Podcast.
Apple Podcast.
Get up to
Yeah,
date. We are back and we're
God.
coming in hot into your ear holes. So get ready.
We've got some really big episodes coming up in the next
Oh, don't we ever?
the next few months. Thanks, Apple. Can't say too much because we haven't really thought it out.
Ryan
but-
Reynolds.
so-
What? What? Can't confirm or deny.
No.
You have to listen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Be true to guys.
Tom Cruise.
Be true.
What?
Leave us a review.
Elvis Presley.
Like-
Whoa, what a get.
Cosentino.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we should do that. That
Great
was
man.
embarrassing. We can connect Sailor with him because that was
No, let's not encourage that.
mortifying. Please leave us a review. Like, actually leave us a review because apparently
Begging you.
we've dropped down low, and the only thing that can save us is your
Grant Daniel.
reviews.
Yeah, Shorty
Yeah.
got low.
Apple bottom jeans, boots,
Boots with the fur. The whole podcast world is looking at her.
It's all true.
Love you
It's
guys. Mwah.
Take care, lovers.
See you lunatics.
It's All True, the podcast with Grant and Shezzy Denya.
Bye bye. See you next time.